Hello everyone, it's Giselle from Kids Yoga Stories, and for today's yoga story time, we're going to read Luke's Beach Day, a fun and educational kids yoga story set in Sydney, Australia. Now, what's unique about these yoga books is you'll see on the corner of the page, you'll see Luke practicing the pose that is linked to the keyword on the page, so you can actually act this out as we go along. Okay, so I wonder, beach, what are we going to see? And what are we going to do on the beach? Let's find out. What a smashing sunny summer day, said Luke's teacher. Let's get ourselves ready for our day at the beach. She pointed to the sign on the wooden walkway. Slip, slop, slap, it said. Luke and his classmates slipped on their sun shirts, slopped on their sunscreen, and slapped on their sun hats. Then they slid on their sunglasses. Let's say hello to the sun to start our day, said Luke's teacher. Luke, his teacher, and classmates stretched their arms up high towards the sky. So you can see we're going to practice sun salute. Put your arms right up to the sky and say hello to the sun. Afterward, they gathered under the shade of a beach umbrella. Their teacher explained the safety rules for the day. Luke was grouped with Sue and Stephanie for their studies of the seashore. And here we're going to practice tree pose. So come to standing on one leg, bend the other leg, let your foot rest either on below your knee on your calf or up on your thigh, but just not on your knee. So we can pretend to be an umbrella. You can even put your arms straight out like an umbrella. Phew, it's steamy hot already, said Sue, wiping her brow. Yuck, it smells like seaweed, said Stephanie, plugging her nose. Look at that plastic bag over there. Luke quickly ran over to the bag and threw it into the bin. See those boys surfing? Asked Luke. That's so cool. He pretended he was surfing on the sand. And here we're going to practice warrior two pose. So come to standing one foot behind the other, your front knee bent and your arms up to the side. Your hips are open and pretend you're surfing in the ocean. Wow, look at that girl sailing, Stephanie said. She stood still like a steady sail in the wind. Whoosh, she blew out, making the sound of the wind. And here we're going to practice triangle pose as if we're on a sailboat sailing. So we've got our feet apart just like in Warrior 2. Reach your top arm out, and then take it to your shin there and the other arm straight up high in triangle pose. Pretend you're sailing. Check out those people swimming. Sue flapped her arms like a swimmer. We're going to come to warrior three pose. So stand on one leg, other leg out behind you, and you can swim with your arms, just like Luke is showing you the movement here. Look, kangaroos! Luke pointed at the family of kangaroos perched in the grasslands overlooking the beach. All three children stopped to watch the animals. The kangaroos gazed back curiously. So we'll come to chair pose. Bring your feet close together. Bend your knees as if you're about to sit on a chair. Take your arms out in front of you like a kangaroo, and you can even take a hop. Come on, let's make sandcastles, Stephanie said. She started scooping sand into their shovel. We're going to come to downward facing dog pose. So take your buttocks up high and an upside down V shape and pretend you're a sandcastle. Good idea. Let's make some mighty bridges around the castle, said Sue. We'll come to plank pose. Come onto the palms and on your toes into a plank position and pretend you're a bridge around the castle. Oh no, look at all those seagulls picking at that box of fish and chips. Luke ran over to the box and threw it into the bin. Stephanie and Sue were too busy building their sandcastles to notice the seagulls. We're going to practice like seagulls, pigeon pose. From plank pose, take your right leg and place your knee, take your knee just behind your right hand, angle your foot backwards and sit down. Come to a pigeon pose, just like as if it's the tail of a seagull. I love that Luke has been putting the garbage in the garbage bin. Very sad when we see garbage at the beach. Stephanie stopped for a moment and sat still. She closed her eyes and listened to the sounds of the sea. She took a deep breath. And then she sighed, making the sound of the ocean waves down in her throat. We're going to come to hero pose on our heels. Put your hands on your knees and just close your eyes for a moment if that's possible. Just take a deep breath. Imagine you're at the beach. Imagine what you might see, and imagine what you might smell, and imagine what you might hear. I wonder if we'll see any dolphins today, said Sue, while she watched the crashing waves. Luke also looked out at the ocean. So we're going to practice dolphin pose. It's sort of like from the downward facing dog, except we're going to bend our elbows. Our elbows are going to come flat out with the arms out into dolphin pose. And you can look straight out in front of you. You see the little crabs there. You see the little crab there. Suddenly, Luke screamed, "Shark fin, sound the siren!" "Ah!" shrieked Sue and Stephanie together. Come to shark pose on our bellies with our legs out behind us and our arms as well, and lift up your chest. Look forward. Shark fins. Aha. Just kidding, said Luke. Sue and Stephanie shook their heads. They were used to Luke's silly tricks. Come on, Stephanie, let's go look at those crabs over there, said Sue. She squatted to watch the crabs scuttling in and around the tide pools. We're going to come to tabletop pose like a crab. So from your buttocks, lift up your buttocks, making a tabletop, reverse tabletop. Keep your arms facing forward and your feet. And you can just stay there, or you can look back if that's comfortable. You can even waddle around like a crab. Cool, said Luke, following his seashore partners. He stopped to stick his finger in an anemone. Don't do that, shrieked Sue. You'll hurt them. We'll come to flower pose as if we're an anemone. Come to sit on your buttocks. Take your feet together. Bend your legs and weave your hands underneath your knees into flower pose. Oops, said Luke, jumping up. Don't you want me to collect seashells for your castle? Stephanie knew exactly what to say to keep harmony in their group. And seashells, we're going to practice seated forward bend. Come to sitting in a staff pose. Then lean forward with a straight spine. Reach towards your toes as if you're a seashell. Eeks, look what I found. Luke held up a plastic bottle. He ran over to the bin and threw the bottle into it. The three friends spent their day sitting on the beach, licking ice cream cones and taking notes for their study of the sea. We're going to come to lotus pose, sitting cross-legged, a nice little easy pose. You can take your feet up if you're flexible. Again, lots of little crabs. Phew, I'm tired. Let's pretend we are sea stars, said Stephanie. Sue, Stephanie, and Luke spread themselves out and lay sprawled on the sand. They felt the salty spray and smelled the fresh sea breeze. And like all our yoga books, we'll end in resting pose. Lay down with your arms and legs stretched out, pretending you're a sea star. Imagine feeling that salty spray and smelling the fresh sea breeze. Luke didn't notice his classmates packing up. He sat up and looked at the ocean. What are we going to do about all this garbage on the beach? It could harm the animals. Good thing I brought my refillable water bottle so I don't leave plastic behind, he said to himself. Sue tapped Luke on the shoulder. Come on, Luke, it's time to go home now. Okay, he smiled at Sue and Stephanie. but we will be back soon. And you can end the story sitting in cross-legged, pretend you're looking out over the ocean. I wonder what he is going to do about all the garbage on the beach. What would you do? And there you go. Thank you so much for joining us for Luke's Beach Day.